Brandon Ellis, thanks for being on the Behind the Fiction podcast.
Thank you.
You are in Bali right now, right?
Yes. I've been in Bali for about 2 months.
And you moved there with your family.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not just like a young guy who's like, I'm going to Bali. This is a big thing when you move your family across the world.
I'm an old guy who wanted to save money to buy a home in the United States because I got tired of paying $2,000 a month for rent. I would like to pay that for, I'd like to save up money. And here in Bali, everything is about a third of the cost than the United States, or where I was in the Pacific Northwest. And so that's what I came here to do. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that was my goal.
It's a lot sunnier there and warmer, I bet.
Oh gosh, yeah. It's humid. It's probably averages around 83 degrees, I think. Humid, hot and humid. So sometimes it's in the 90s. Sometimes it feels like it's in the hundreds, they say.
Feels like, yeah, the humiture, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Humiture. Yeah, we have that down here. Like you during the summer, it's 95, but then they say if it feels like it's 102, it's like there's not really.
Yeah, it's exactly right. Yeah.
It's hot. When you step outside, it's hot. So anyway, that's kind of cool that you did that. As an author, you're kind of able to live anywhere and work anywhere. Does that fall into play with your decision making?
Yeah, I was in Ireland of all places in July or August, forget when I brought this idea up to my partner Lotus. We're pretty much married. We've been together for over 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And my daughter Liliana, she's 8, and I brought it up to them, and it took some convincing, but we finally did it. We literally moved out of our home and put everything in storage, sold a car, sold our furniture, and came here.
And you are a space opera author. Is that fair? Or do you go beyond that? Because all the covers I see on your Amazon page look like space opera to me.
Definitely space opera. I am more of a Star Wars kind of guy, and I want to get into military sci-fi. I don't know if I have the chops for that yet. I don't know too much about military, even though my son's in the Marines, and he'll read my stuff and be like, "No, Dad, you need to put this here. This is what you're supposed to do." He just told me how to clear a room. Like, when you never hug a wall, apparently clearing a room is, Marines will, I forget what it is. Like,
well, we have two sons that were Marines, but we've never had the clear the room discussion.
Well, I don't want to say it because I wrote it down the way he told me to write it down, and I probably will screw it up if I say it out loud. But it's pretty much, how in the movies you see, I guess Marines or whoever with gun, with a weapon or a rifle or whatever, and they go in the room. They kind of kick open the door and what did he say? And clear the room, where they I forget the word. You move your gun in a certain way and all that stuff.
And there are going to be people who are watching and listening to this who are just struggling to get it out because they know exactly what it is and they're trying to help you right now.
And they So I have it correct in my books, but not when I speak. I should say my new books. My old books, I didn't take that stuff into consideration, and I got blown away with some pretty negative reviews, which was smart because then I learned, I got to be a little bit more accurate with this military stuff. So yeah.
So let's talk about your first LMBPN series, because you've published a lot of stuff on your own. Your first LMBPN series is the Star Guild Saga, which is something that you had originally written and published before and then dramatically changed for the LMBPN version. First book is Veil Rising, which was released last week.
Yes.
And it's doing very well. We're excited about it. It's going to be a 3-book series?
It's 3-book series. If it does really well, I'd like to extend it, but right now it's 3-book series.
Okay. And the first book is massive. It's like 135,000 words. That's a big book.
Over 500 pages. It says so on Amazon. And then my next book is I've finished it, but I'm going through another edit, and I usually add instead of delete for those edits, and probably be up to 115K.
Okay.
Almost gave a spoiler away. There's a reason why.
Give us a little sense of the series and who the characters are.
All right. So when I first wrote it, the characters were Crystal and James and all this stuff. And 3 people wanted to be in the book. So I changed the main character's name to Allie, second main character's name to Shay, both my cousins. And then one to my friend, his name's Coda. And so anyway, what was your question again?
Well, give us a sense of the characters, who they are in the, not so much their names, but who they are as people in this series.
Gosh. Yeah. Okay, so main character Allie, she is, let's see here, kind of in the beginning, she's a very independent woman. Sees suspicion in everything. There's a reason why.
Mm-hmm.
And she was essentially taken by a certain race, taken to another planet, mind wiped, and now is kind of waking up. So she's a very strong female lead, and she eventually will lead a team, or she eventually leads a team, and yeah, the character is just strong. She's just a very confident woman. And then I have an admiral as a second lead character, and he's the admiral type. What I've learned through beta testing and all that stuff is admirals need to be strong no matter what, and or else the reader will not take this admiral seriously. So he is the guy who's got the most resolve, and again, strong like Allie. And yeah, so that I don't know how to really describe them other than oh gosh, I'm just not
okay.
good
Well,
at
what's the? I mean, Allie's had her mind wiped. She's taken to another planet, and then what happens? What's the story driver for the first book, or to
okay?
Sort of
So here's how I write. So I write space opera archaeology. I was a history major, so archaeology is a big thing in my life. So a lot of my characters are archaeologists, and she herself was an archaeologist, kind of researching the cuneiforms, which are Sumerian tablets, one of the first civilizations that had writing about 6,000 years ago. And what she has done is she has transcribed a tablet that not too many people could transcribe. And she found that in these Sumerian tablets, there's a race called the Anunnaki. The Sumerians believed that humans were created by extraterrestrials, and then the extraterrestrials eventually left. But when they created us to become slaves, and then there's a war between those extraterrestrials and all that stuff. That's in the Sumerian tablets. And so here we are with Allie, and she finds, oh my gosh, yes, they did make us a slave race, but they did take a lot of us. Oh, sorry. This turned off.
No, that was weird. Okay. Yeah. So was that like just lighting on you?
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I think it's just turned off. Sorry, I'm going to be in the dark for a little bit. I apologize.
Yeah, so it's the middle of the night where you are. It's
it's
9:10
middle of the
a.m.
night
here, 9:10 p.m. the next day.
And yeah, in Bali, things can do that. It can just turn off because the electricity doesn't work so well. So my main light to light me, it just turned off. Anyway, so she believes that she has found, she decoded a translation on the Sumerian tablets stating that, okay, they took a lot of us off planet to another planet to still do these slave things. And it led her to a tomb in Iraq where the Sumerians were. And she believes this tomb is the key to it all. And when she opens it, she discovers she's in the wrong place at the exact right time because they're coming for more people, and she's one of them. So they do take her, they mind wipe her, but she has something specific in her that she begins to wake up, and so do some other humans, and they start to pretty much remember things and all that, and all hell starts to break loose. But she, in the beginning of the book, she's a mech miner, which means she's mining a certain material on a planet for slave race, but she doesn't know she's a slave, nor do any of the humans until they start waking up and they realize, okay, not all this mining stuff that we are mining is actually coming to just humans. A lot of it's going off planet somewhere else, but where? And then there's, politicians in there that have been hiding this for a long time and all that stuff. So, yeah.
All right. Well, so it sounds very cool. And I know the reaction from our JIT team, which, if for those of you who don't know, Just in Time Reading Team, which are like a group of proofreaders that are the last people to see the book before the final edits are made. They really enjoyed the story. They really enjoyed the changes you made to the story. And there's a lot of depth. There's a lot of different plot threads in there.
Yeah, yeah. It did have 8 characters in it when I first wrote it. And it was terribly written, I have to admit. But it was my very first sci-fi I've ever read or wrote. And I literally changed. I didn't have any resolution in the books. I just with all my characters, I had 8 characters. I just did cliffhangers. I didn't know what I was doing. Yeah, I didn't stop. I just okay, I'll just end the book here. And no resolution. So I attempted to clear that up. I deleted over 20 chapters, changed the last 7. No, that's in my second book. I don't know how many chapters I deleted in this one, but my next book, Backlash Rising, which is a sequel to this, I erased 20 chapters and redid them and all that stuff. But this one, I trimmed down to 4 main characters. That's the best I could do. I was trying to get it down to 2, but it just didn't. The story just wasn't working. Mm-hmm. So I've got it at 4, and and the threads are kind of interwoven. And anyway, yeah.
and we've got book 2 is up for a pre-order. You'll see the pre-order date is, once you finish book 1, you're going to want to read book 2, so you can do the pre-order. The pre-order date is June 15th. We're hoping to have it ready before that. We set it up on June 15th to give ourselves a little leeway. So we hope to have it a little sooner than June 15th.
Yeah.
All right, and now for a total change of pace. I was reading your bio on Amazon, and I see that you were an all-state baseball player in high school.
Yeah. I was. A lot of colleges actually wanted me as a baseball player. I was recruited, and I'd go to colleges, and one of the best baseball colleges in the entire nation actually came to one of my games, and they weren't coming to see me, but I was the quiet, good player. I didn't, I wasn't loud, and people didn't know about me until they saw me, and I was shortstop. I was kind of the leader of the team in that way. Mm-hmm. And when he saw me, he came up to me and shook my hand. He goes, he was here for so-and-so, but I kind of outclassed him, he said. And he would like me to come and visit, the campus and all that stuff. And so I visited a lot of campuses. And like an idiot, I decided to play basketball at college. I was also.
You were one of those guys. One of those guys who's just good at everything. So but the rest of us hated it in high school.
That's what my friend said. He said I was really good at sports, and he hated that. And I made the basketball. It was a practice team, and that's as far as I went. It's not like I went anywhere with it. And I should have played baseball, and I loved baseball. I don't know what I was thinking. So, yeah.
Well, it's funny. One of the cool things about writing is that you can keep developing throughout your life until, you just say, I don't want to do this anymore. Unlike athletics, where you can be really good as an 18-year-old, and then you reach a point, even if you are the best in the world, where your skills start to diminish, and it's eventually
exactly.
It ends for everybody. It ends for a great baseball player at age 40, but for you it might have ended at 19. And here's something that you're like really good at, and you just can't really do it anymore because you made a choice to do this other thing.
Yeah, I did. I made a choice.
Yeah, but now the writing thing, you can apply a lot of the same skills. You have these skills, and you can just continue to hone them and get better and better and better. And like a baseball player who never ages, just that those contracts just keep getting bigger, and the more money as you write more books.
Wouldn't it be nice to have some of those contracts, though?
Yes, it would. Yeah, some of the contracts that the baseball players and the basketball the football. Did you play football too?
My parents wouldn't let me, but I did in middle school, and
Okay.
they called me Worm because I would catch anything and worm my way around people. Like they would hit me, and I would just somehow slide off of them. I don't know how I did that stuff, but yeah, I was an athlete, and I just got done playing basketball yesterday here at one of the uh, Bali clubs, and I could not. I made one shot. I couldn't. My form is really good. Everything. I just kept what you call airballing it and hitting off the back of the rim, and it was embarrassing because there were these 3 players there that were really good, and I thought, okay, these are young players, but I was really good. I can show them up, and I can really dribble still really well, and yeah, I just missed everything. I made one shot. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good. At least you made one.
Yeah.
All right. So I so rarely, I diverged into sports because I so rarely get to talk about athletics with authors. You're the first person I've ever seen in the bio that talks about.
Did you play athletics?
I loved sports. I was not that good. I played basketball in high school, a little bit of basketball at a really small college. I'm horrible at baseball, too small to play football. But loved all of them. And one of my best friends in high school was point guard on the basketball team, quarterback on the football team, shortstop on the baseball team. And it's like, you suck,
Yeah, they asked me because I had
too much in one person.
I had one of the strongest arms in the league. I don't know why or how. I was just super skinny, but for some reason I could throw that ball so fast. I don't know why. It made no sense. And so I was having the football coach asking me to be like the quarterback and all that stuff. So anyway, yeah. So I may have had a career in that if I was allowed. But my parents were definitely. My dad broke both his knees playing
wide receiver too. Oh, yeah. Okay, so that might be good.
So he definitely wouldn't have me. Yeah.
All right. Well, Brandon, it's been great chatting with you. Really excited about the book and excited about the new series, and it's great to be working with you. So thanks so much for being on the show.
Yeah, I really enjoy working with you too, and yeah, hopefully it does well.
And you've got a website. Where's the best place for people to connect with you?
BrandonEllisWrites.com.
Okay, and we will link to that in the show notes. And I hear the doorbell ringing here at the home office. So I will talk to you later. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you, Stephen.